Hi, can you hear me okay?
Hello.
Hi,
So nice to see you. Okay.
likewise. Oh, is it just you two tonight?
Yes, we're expecting Ellen in person.
Okay.
So we're going to give her a few more minutes. Nancy said she couldn't come and Rebecca has not been feeling well, so she's not coming.
I know something's
And-
going around.
Here she is.
There
Hi,
she is.
sorry, we have a quorum.
We're glad you're here.
Yes, I've had a wild couple of days. I'm here too.
Excellent.
Where are we going?
Hello.
Four?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, I'll call the meeting to order then. So nice to have us here. Um, let's see. So Nancy can't make it, Rebecca can't make it, not feeling well. So we do need someone to take notes. Rebecca said she would turn them into actual minutes if someone else could take some notes.
She can't, because she's not here.
Uh,
I can take notes. I'm happy to.
I'll take those.
Okay.
Paula said she will. Okay, that'd be great. Thank you, Paula. Okay, so everybody got the agenda. We'll talk a little bit about the grant proposal to the CPC for additional work, phase 3 work at Bailey's Hill. Lodge Park, our signs, panels, etc., mood boards and other exciting things. Bailey's Hill plantings, planting a tree in memory of John Benson and any new business. So we start by having a motion to approve the minutes?
I will make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second,
Second.
thank you. We'll have a roll call vote. The chair says A. Kelly?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. The minutes are approved. Thank you very much. Old business. Okay, so let's see. It's too bad Nancy can't be here to give us the latest and greatest, but we did apply for additional funds for work at Bailey's Hill to remove invasives and plant native shrubs primarily. This CPC has less money this year than they had anticipated at one time because the revenues are down from fewer real estate transactions. So there may be, we may get just a part of what we asked for, but we don't know.
Yeah.
So stay tuned on that. Tony had there were 12, I think, different proposals submitted at one time. Some were later withdrawn but Tony had submitted one about doing a master plan for the Flash Road recreation area, which the first time that was discussed, the CPC committee felt that the proposal needed some reshaping really, and suggested Tony talk to and get a proposal from a company that really can lead a master planning process. The company that had submitted a proposal was really a engineering, basketball, construction type company, the ones who had done the work at Flash Road before on the basketball court and the tennis court, but not really you know, leading a master planning process was not their forte or what they did really. So Tony was gonna go and talk to a bunch of people, other towns, and get some other proposals and reshape that proposal to the CPC. He said he would, well, okay, when we, at our last meeting, we talked about how that this committee didn't feel like we could lead the master planning process at Flash Road, which I, of course, conveyed that to Tony. And he got that, and we talked through that, and was partly also where this whole thing about hiring a firm that could really run a good process like that. In a way similar to what was done with the open space planning process,
Right.
but smaller scale.
Yeah.
So he was gonna get a proposal and then run it by me and then submit it again. I haven't heard from Tony about that since I talked to him on the phone. So
I thought it got approved by the CPC. There was an article in the item today.
aha. And what, so that was approved? That's what you recall.
Was I the only one who read the item today?
So I did not read the item.
So, yeah, maybe we should table this till we know, because the item said that that got approved.
I didn't listen to the meeting last night. So.
Okay, so stay tuned on that.
I don't know, I mean, that's what it said, but I
Yeah.
forget the dollar amounts.
Yeah. Okay,
Let me see if I can find it. I don't know. I need my password to get into it. Let's see.
Yeah.
Nahant approved Publix grant applications. Did they have a meeting Monday night?
yes.
So, yeah, they voted to apply 3 projects. One was the path at the nature path through the Coast Guard housing.
Yeah, Heritage Trail.
The second one was the master plan, and the third one was some housing thing.
Hmm.
3 grant applications totaling $119,000. Now, this is per the item, so
Yeah.
who knows about the accuracy.
Okay,
Master plan for 39, and then they were gonna roll in the 11,000, I think, from the one that Kevin did, it sounds like. Remember Kevin
Mhm.
Andrews said that once, that's how they get up to the 50,000. Anyway, I'm just looking at the same article.
Okay, well, the Open Space Committee did not have any input into that Flash Road master planning thing, despite our request to have some input. So stay tuned.
Was Nancy, I don't know, she was at the meeting last night.
I don't know.
And that was approved for $50,000 per.
Yeah, so they rolled in another, so 39 plus the 11. That was from the previous year. Which I'm pretty sure was the
Yeah,
school's request for the trail, Heritage Trail through Flash Road Park.
okay.
And then how much was did it say?
The Goddard Drive one was 20,000. And then the housing development feasibility study, 60,000.
20,000 for Goddard Drive?
Yeah.
What's that?
60,000, it says worth 60,000. Well, that's,
So it's just a housing plan?
it says housing development feasibility study. I think it's a piggyback to that,
Yep.
yeah.
So those were the proposals that were reviewed last night and the decisions, yeah, and voted on. So it doesn't mean that there won't be others in the future.
Yeah, I think they said the budget was around 400, so it's not about right.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see, so maybe sticking, no, okay, Lodge Park, let's move on to Lodge Park and our signs and panels. So we've been making some progress with things, which is excellent.
That's
We
great.
have all of the text for the various panels. We have we have selected which photos we want. Robert Wilson has worked on most, but not all of those photos to
Right.
get high resolution versions
Mhm.
that can be used for the printing. So he's quite far along on that,
Yeah.
wouldn't you say? Yeah.
I'd say 80% of them. probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Um,
And that person you found is great. What an asset. So. that was-
Yeah, she's gonna be good. So, and she's like, you know, she's younger, so she's more affordable, but I found her through a designer who is a contact of mine, who said that she hasn't used her yet, but she's hoping to. So I think this is this is good because the designer wants to set, you know, a high bar so that we give good feedback to, you know, the other designer. So anyway, it's super affordable, and thank you, Trish, for signing the contract. I didn't send it over yet. I wanted to walk you guys through the mood board before I did that. But I'm assuming there's no issues. I'll send that over tonight. And she can get that done pretty quickly. She's using the sketch as kind of her Bible. But I'm just
Show her Nancy's picture.
I did. So this is, I'm just sharing my screen. Can you see this?
Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
So this is like spot on, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, exactly.
I sent this to her also, and I just said, I think if you base it on this, you really can't go wrong. But we just have to kind of opine on the mood board. So we can just look at this quickly. So these are the kind of the keywords I gave her: pen style, thin lines, minimal color, outline, which is super similar to the photo, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
So actually don't even really think we have to comment on any of this because I think she kind of nailed it. She gets what we want. We just have to tell her what colors we want.
Option 4. That's my vote.
All right, option 4 it is. Let's do that. It's perfect.
Or option 2.
I liked option 2 because if she's gonna do a lighthouse, but are any of our lighthouses red?
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah.
Um,
This is nice because think about it. We have greenery, different shades of blue. I could have her pull in like some of these like earthy tones
Yeah.
just to break up the blue green.
Yep.
Okay. So, but it sounds like nobody's having an allergic reaction to this, so we're feeling pretty good. Okay, super.
Yeah, it's exciting.
yeah.
I can't wait to see what it looks like. I'm happy we didn't abandon it because I think it's going to be really pretty.
So can I ask a question about that? Because that sketch that Nancy sent, it has no photos. So are we leaning towards no photos on this? Because we've been sort of
No.
looking for photos, but we don't need them.
I don't think we need them. And I never envisioned photos on that
Okay,
when I
so-
originally suggested it,
All right,
so.
so we can put Robert, forget about the photos.
But I thought I mean, we've talked about having photos incorporated into it with with captions underneath, with
Okay.
more information about the, you know, the lighthouses and so on.
So I don't know what Rebecca had thought, I don't know, I just wanted to put that up, because
I don't know if
Robert
we
is
need
working on some photos.
I don't know if
So,
we need them.
I don't
What's
think
your-
we need them either. I think we can, she's going to illustrate, right? So maybe what I can do is just supply them to her. She can
Okay.
illustrate and just, I mean, I don't think it's gonna make a big difference, but like if she's doing a lighthouse, for example, maybe she works in one little detail from the picture. And then, I don't know, what do you think about if we just label them and then below?
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's it, like label them number one, and then you go down, or label
Yeah.
them by, and then just go down and have a legend at the bottom with the same information.
So with the
That-
text,
With the text, but with no photos, is that what you were sort of getting at?
That's what I was thinking, yeah, because
Yeah.
because it's more like about orienting whoever's reading
Right.
it.
exactly.
I agree, yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
So, and then that brings us to the next order of business, which is Penier, I can't pronounce it. And I've been in contact with them. We do have some decisions to make as a group, before they can restate our contract, or our quote and give us a contract. So I'm just gonna pull up the quote that they gave us last summer, I think it was.
Even longer ago than that, but yeah,
Okay, 1 second. Okay. So here's the quote that they provided us last year, whatever. So
January 2023.
how funny. So like over a year ago.
Yeah.
So, Trish, you know this better than I do, but from what I've gathered, what you're looking at here are two options. The first option is up here, is pretty equivalent price wise to the second option, and what's different is just the size. So what you're seeing here is quantity of each individual panel and a size description for each individual panel. And so what we need to do as a group is make sure we have the right panels on the quote. So how many panels do we have total?
Six.
Two-way finding that are basically the same except for, one "you are here" thing. So that's where it says they're two, in the top half, it's two 24 by 36-inch ones.
That's the, so see,
So
I
what-
guess my question is, because I wasn't involved, so I was trying to read this and trying to like decipher which one was which. Why would that one be different size?
I think the sign at the parking lot was going to be bigger?
Yes.
Yeah, so the first sign as you pull into Canoe Beach would be a little bit bigger, I think, is that the 36 by 48? Or,
So actually, these are the same size, but one would be vertical. It was thought that the wayfinding one would be vertical orientation. And the other 4 panels, the more interpretive panels, would be horizontal.
So there's one wayfinding that's vertical. There's 4 horizontal kind of basic panels, and then what's the 6th one?
No, two wayfindings that are vertical.
Okay, thank you.
and are those bigger? than
No.
the other ones? Oh, they're the same size?
It's just they're oriented differently.
24 by 36?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see 136 by 48 up there, that's more.
So, so the quote on the top, the panels are the same square area.
Okay,
The wayfinding ones are oriented vertically and the others are horizontally. The bottom half, the wayfinding signs are larger. Well, they're all larger. That's the
Okay.
second half.
We were going through with the smaller ones on the top, right?
Yeah, so let's actually just focus here on just these ones, right? So,
Yeah.
so what I see is we have 4 panels and 4 bases. These are
Correct.
bases. And then we have 2 vertical panels and 2 bases for said vertical panels.
Correct.
Okay, and then we have, this is the design work. So, okay, so that's good. So we know we have the right amount of bases and panels. Now we just need to decide the size. Right, because I guess the difference is this one and this one.
Yes.
I personally think that one needs to be bigger. Because of this, at least one of them, because of the information on it is more. Like. This is the number you call this, or the
Yeah.
map, and I just think that one needs to be a little bit bigger.
Does anybody know how big the one is at, for the Heritage Trail that you just
I think it was
replaced?
18 by 24.
And that's the one at the top?
No, this is 36 by 24, so it would be significantly bigger. So I'm just trying to like visualize myself.
So wait a minute, so the one at, so say that it, so what, I can't read it, so that's why I'm having trouble. Yeah, thanks. So 24 by 36, and the one at the Heritage Trail is 18
Yeah,
by 24?
yeah.
So why wouldn't 24 by 36 be big enough?
When we originally requested these quotes, we asked for the two different sizes because we didn't know what material would actually be on the panels at that time. And in a way, I guess I would be interested in the recommendation of the graphic designer when they look at the wayfinding sign and what we want to put on there and the map that we have and so on, which size it needs.
I agree.
It's
That's
about
a good
40
point.
inches by 40 inches.
Oh. Yeah.
So the 36 by 48 would be just a little taller than that, and.
Can you scroll down a little bit, Kelly?
So it'd be like here.
Okay,
and
so
a little
it's,
taller.
alright, so it's those two. What's the price difference?
It's
That's
like
527 each.
$200 total, so 100 each.
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't really matter.
So it just depends how big we think that we need the information kiosk to be.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be
Because-
fun to do?
Well, I think the one down at the parking lot needs to be bigger.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I don't know about the one up above, because the other wayfinding is up above, right, where the
Right.
handicap parking is?
Yes, yeah.
That could be, I don't know, if for $200, does it make a difference?
No, I guess it just depends the visual of what, I think it's more about what we think would look fitting as opposed to
Do we
overwhelming
think a
signs.
bigger one would be overwhelming at the top
It might be.
and take away from
Mhm.
sort of everything else that's up there?
Yeah, there's a couple of doozy signs up there right now.
Well, so let's say I will still ask the designer what she
Yeah.
thinks.
Yeah,
Let's say she says it doesn't matter. Perhaps we go with one down at the bottom, the bigger one down at the bottom, and the smaller one at the top. We also don't want it to be too big at the top that it is impacted by weather.
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Wind catcher, yeah.
Right, but so far, the idea isn't that it wouldn't really be up at the top of the park, but more
Next to the parking, the handicap parking that's up there?
possibly next to the handicap parking or down where that, there's a green gate. And now there's a sign over on the right-hand side on a tree or something.
It says call 612.
Yeah. Yeah, that it's more when you get up to, when you're just entering
Or
the
you-
actual
You
lodge
could put
park.
it near, sort of on the pavement, near the building where they keep the sailing boats. You
Yeah.
could put it there,
Right, right in that area, yeah, that's.
and that's more protected,
Yeah,
and it's as people go up there.
so
Yeah.
can we get the contract for those both being bigger, and then if we decide to downsize one, we'll probably, it's
Yeah.
only dollars per sign.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then, so we can sort of get a piece of, sort of size it out a little bit and up there. Does that make
Okay.
sense? You can always back down, but it's harder to add on.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what we'll do. So just next steps, she will send us a revised quote. I'll circulate it. If all is in order, we'll move on to contract. Trish can execute the contract, and then we can start then kind of porting over all of the assets. So thank you for sending over the assets.
Does the contract have to be done with Tony?
yes, Yeah, exactly. So, if the quote that we have from Panier is for less than $10,000, which is helpful in that
Doesn't have to go out to bid.
it doesn't have to go out to bid. If Panier now comes back with a higher dollar amount, then it'll be more of a competitive process. They're just different, requirements that you have to do, and it would have to go out to bid to some other companies.
So in that case, we may go with the smaller size.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you might even point that out to them.
Yeah.
That if it's 10,000 or more, it triggers different procurement process and it becomes more competitive.
Hmm.
Okay. So just as far as all of the assets, I know I have them all in my email. I'm gonna go through, organize. I need to kind of just curate individual folders by panel for them. So I will let you know if I have any questions. I might as I get through there, but TBD.
Thank you. Wow.
Excellent.
Okay.
Thank you very much. That's great. Really, really great. Okay. Do we want to talk about any of the photographs with this whole group? Not really.
We just sort of eliminated a few that we
Yeah.
had questions about. So
Yes,
that's
I think
easy.
we're
not
good.
gonna use them on that. I think we're good. other
And
than-
we're
yeah.
gonna be able to see the last,
Yeah.
like, all of them together before we actually go through with this, right?
Right, yeah, they'll give
Yes.
us mock-ups and we'll review,
perfect.
yeah.
Well, two things in a way. So Robert has given us a link to a site where he has all the photographs organized by panels. So you
Can
can,
you forward that link to all the committee members?
yeah, it's still a little bit of a work in process. We've been going back and forth with Robert, but yes. So you can see panel one, these are the photos, snowy owl, monarch, butterfly, the rocks, whatever, and so on. So you can see it all. And now I think we've winnowed it down and made some selections and all gotten on the same page. So we have that. So yes, it's what we've talked about in the meeting here, but it took a little while to get it all across to Robert. Yeah.
But this is.
So there's that, and then we will eventually get,
Yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted.
so we will get some designs from the Panier people that we will be able to review. So that will be the laid out panel, which, we don't have anything like that yet. Right.
It's really exciting. I'm excited.
Yeah.
This is the fun part. I came just for the fun part.
Any
Excellent.
leftover ones that you.
Yeah, can you forward that link?
Yeah, do you want me to forward it now?
Okay, sure. Again, it is a work in progress. Some of the,
Yeah.
we've made a few changes, which Robert hasn't made in that yet, but you'll get a good idea. Okay. And I think that's it for Lodge Park and our panels. We're still trying to have a site walk with Zach to think about visitors' safety and changing some of the little trails around, which we have no progress to report, do we, Ellen? No, not yet.
Okay, so I emailed him like the next day after, and I emailed him 2 weeks after that. I
Yeah.
called today and said, talked to Mary and said. Can you ask Zach to call me?
Yeah,
Nothing. I don't know.
well,
I'm
we'll,
on this priority list right now.
we'll keep
And I
at it.
understand, but
It'll
on
happen.
the other hand, we're just trying to do work for a committee. Like
Yeah.
trying to harass him. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I
Nothing
keep on,
announced. If you see him on the beach.
yeah, exactly. I've got my eye out for him, so we'll get him. Okay,
Sorry about that, no update.
well, Bailey's Hill and the plantings, so some fencing has gone up on various places, which is great.
It looks nice too, it's not intrusive.
Yeah, really nice to have up.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it's done to me. The whole upper area hasn't been fenced, so presumably,
I don't think that was probably on their radar.
oh, really?
I'm just guessing, they would have finished it. But if we ever catch him, maybe we can
Yeah.
ask.
Yeah, exactly. Cause it would be good to have it up there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see, Nancy asked us to talk about tree swallow boxes for Bailey's Hill. There are some tree swallow boxes at Lodge Park, which Swim has, I think, erected there and cleans them, maintains them, does whatever you need to do. And they would also like to put some tree swallow boxes at Bailey's Hill and wanted to make sure that was okay with us. 2 or 3 boxes, swallow boxes at Bailey's Hill, the location to be determined. So, sounds good, right?
Yeah, you need to get the town approval.
Yes, I think that's part of it, exactly. They just wanted to make sure we were on board. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want to do a whole motion? No.
Well, I do a motion that they can put swallow boxes there.
Okay,
Time approval. Does that sound right?
yes.
Yep.
Can we have a second for this motion?
I'll second it.
Paula is our second. Thank you. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
We got everybody all approved. Thank you very much. Okay, the Open Space and Recreation Committee report was due, and with Paula's help, thank you very much. We submitted it on time. So I think that's good. I'll also send that around to people because sure you'll be fascinated. No. But I will circulate that. Tree in memory of John Benson. Okay, so I have been working on this and I talked to Wendy Warnham, who is the head of the tree task force. She sent me the memo that they had submitted to the town in the summer of 2022. And Wendy's understanding was that it was all final and good to go and ready to go up on the town website. And I poked around on the website and couldn't find it. I guess, well, anyway,
So wait, so what was that?
the Memorial Tree Program that the Tree Task Force kind of crafted and created and made the parameters for it.
So is it something that people can go on the website and request to have a memorial tree planted in somebody's name? Is that what it's?
That is the concept. It's not on the town website. So as far as I know, or any of us know, or Wendy knows, it hasn't really been advertised or unveiled to anyone that this is an option.
Right.
So the tree task force, so there is a form. And, you know, you could complete it and say who this was in memory of or in honor of, what tree species you would recommend, and where you would like it to go, a location, right?
Are they suggesting locations or is it just you can say, I want it in my front yard?
So the idea, okay, the idea is that it would be on town-owned land.
But-
That's what this
But just
program is.
people would just ask for a location. I just didn't.
They
know.
would suggest it,
Okay.
yes, and then the suggestions would be reviewed by the DPW and the forestry division, the memo says,
Okay.
which I guess is the tree warden.
Yeah.
So tree selections and planting locations. In the memo that they submitted, they said the cost would be $350 for a tree.
Yeah.
And a plaque.
Do they say what size the tree that they, what size they shoot for?
No.
Okay.
So I also emailed with Zach about this, who says the cost would be $700. That was right.
Well,
Yeah,
twice as much.
twice as much.
Well, I know, like, when I was on the country club, I got that tree there, and Corliss Brothers delivered it and planted it, and that was
Ah.
about $300 and something. So that sounds more in line than 700,
Seven-
unless it's a size issue. the size they want.
Yeah, I don't know. And maybe that, I mean, it does include the DPW watering the tree and caring for the tree, so maybe they've built in something for that. Yeah, I don't know. So,
It's TBD.
yes. So, and the $700 would not include the plaque. That would be additional. I mean, in my mind, if you're gonna put a tree in memory of someone, you do wanna have a plaque, right? So,
Can Tony weigh in on this at all? Or we just going back and forth with Zach?
Tony weighed in thanking Zach for replying to the request. But that was the end of it.
Which
This-
request? About,
For information about the Memorial Tree Program,
okay,
yeah. I think he must have heard from Wendy Warnham in the Tree Task Force, Zach
So
and
what's her
Tony.
name, Wendy?
Wendy Warnham, WORNHAM.
I will say, just from the garden club's experiences, plaques go missing, so it's.
Oh,
it's like
really?
an odd thing, they have a lot of memorial trees and plaques go missing, so they're trying to come up with better ways to have plaques that don't go missing.
Huh.
And they might just get plowed out or whatever, I don't think anybody's stealing
Yeah,
it, right?
interesting.
You know,
I
or.
wouldn't put it past people to take them.
Anyway, something to think about, like what's more permanent, you know,
Yeah.
what's not just a stake in the ground or something, you know, so.
Yeah.
I don't know, anyway, that's just an aside. I was thinking about the John Benson tree, and I don't know if we're waiting for this program, and we suggested that spot on Marginal.
Yes,
But the tree that was cut down was a very small decorative tree,
yeah.
and I
Well, it
don't
was
know,
pruned.
yeah,
It was somebody pruned, I don't know, do you know who it was?
no,
It was a cherry tree. And this is what my husband told me, and he knows trees, so he said it was a cherry tree that somebody pruned and sculpted. And they would have had to do it every year because it leaves out and stuff.
right,
So, and who knows, I don't know who did it.
yeah, I
But
guess my only thought on it is like. Some people's view may be impacted if it's a larger tree. So
Yes.
it's just something, I don't know.
Well,
if
that's
we
what I
can
thought
think
about the
that.
pine, the Austrian pine. Another thing he suggested, and I was hoping Rebecca would be here tonight so she could check with Joel, who does trees for a living, on public properties, was a hawthorn. And Rick said a hawthorn would usually does well in a windy or stormy location.
I think they planted one in somebody's memory up at, the Barrington Club planted a hawthorn up at Lodge Park in somebody's memory, just a few years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Still
I
survived?
think it's doing well, yeah. I think the bark shreds, so people thought it was dying, but I think that's a natural occurrence of them.
Huh.
So, yeah, so that's Native American, it's American.
That's
hawthorn,
native, yeah,
so.
Oh, that
It's
is,
a good
okay,
suggestion.
Yeah.
okay. I would like to do a native tree, I mean. I
The
think it's
other
good
option,
about native plants,
Was
excuse
that-
me?
just to throw in and throw a hat in the ring, would be like so.
Yeah, I wonder if it was pruned, the cherry was pruned because of somebody's view.
I,
Yeah, wait, what were you saying, Kelly?
I was just thinking, so, you know, Frederick Tudor planted all of these amazing trees in town, and we're actually seeing a lot of them go now just because they're getting too old and they're aging out. A lot of them are copper beech trees. We have one in our yard and it's super hardy. I mean, I don't think
They
they're,
get diseases.
yeah,
Yeah, there's a disease, be careful, there's a
This
disease.
is a pretty big one in my yard, but I know the one down the
Yeah.
street died, yeah.
But that's, and the
Killing
site on,
Copper beaches, slowly.
the
But it's
site
not like
on
a
Marginal Road is a harsh site, it's very exposed, I'm not sure that's a beech tree
Yeah.
type site. I
yeah.
love it, but, yeah,
Cause we had two huge ones in our, property on Winter, actually maybe three, on Winter Street, and one of them was getting that disease.
How could you
But it's still
tell?
fine.
What did it look like?
Well, it was Copper Beach.
Or what's the disease look like? How could you tell?
It gets into the bark and starts eating away at the tree. So you can't really see it, but you start seeing it in some of the, I think, and I wish Rick were here. I think you start seeing it in some of the branches.
Huh. Interesting. Good to know. Okay, thanks.
Remember we had a tree guy there who said it's gonna take a while, but they are affected, they're being affected.
Well, we will continue to work on this, getting a tree planted in John Benson's memory. So finalizing the species that we would suggest.
Yeah.
And wording for a plaque. And then how much money would it actually be and how will we pay for that? It's.
Oh, yeah, that's a good question.
I
We have a till.
don't know. But more to come. Zach also said they would be planting a tree along marginal road, but on the other end where those benches are, so near the Christie's house, sometime this spring.
Oh,
So they could, plant one at the other end at the same time. So
Is
part
that
of that
in
same
memory of
process.
somebody, or is that just, they're just doing a tree?
Not sure.
that's a good spot for a tree.
Yeah. Okay. New business. Are there other things we should be thinking about, working on?
Next, we still have an open seat. I know we've talked about that in
Yes.
other meetings, but I haven't really brainstormed anybody. I don't know if anybody else has.
No, I don't see anybody in the winter. I'm away every weekend, so, so I'm useless in the winter.
Skiing? You been skiing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm off on Friday, so I ski every Friday, so it's awesome.
Ooh, nice. All right, next
Right.
meeting.
Business.
Kelly, any new business?
No new business for me.
Okay. Next meeting, how about Tuesday, April 2nd? That'd be 4 weeks, I think, from today.
That works.
Yeah. That's fine.
Only thing on my calendar is NSP signups. So yeah.
Oh. Ah, we're there. That makes it seem like summer's coming.
For
I
what? What? Oh, sailing program?
Yeah.
Turn the clocks this weekend, so
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. That's exciting.
that is exciting.
Ugh.
No,
Then you go back to being dark in the morning.
that's true.
And I'm a morning person, so. But it's okay. I know the rest of the world disagrees with me, so.
Okay. Anything else?
I move we adjourn.
Okay, second,
I second.
I'm in favor, aye. Kelly,
Aye.
all right, thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, ladies. See you later.
Bye.
I know.
It's okay, it's actually all right.
And the one that was right, the big pine one, kind of threw me off a little bit, like, I was like, oh, what just happened?
But that was part of all of it.
Right,
Yeah,
what do you mean?
that was part of all the trees coming down.
Yeah, they wanted
Yeah.
that one down.
Yeah.
So,
It's a filthy tree, so.
and it gets,
Like
like,
Rick-
so much more sun.
When we were
Yeah.
at our house, he fought like anything to protect the pine tree that's right next to our house, which is the same type.
Yeah.
Pitch pine, and I mean, literally, he put barriers and signs and fencing around it, and now he hates it.
Yeah.
And so I just make fun of him. Because now I've come to like it.
Right.
But it drops a lot of sap on the upstairs deck
Yeah.
but he never sits out there anyways, and I sit out there at night, so I don't care.
Yeah.
But we did have the same tree guy, we had them take off all the dead wood,
Yeah.
which is good. So I do worry there's a branch that cuts over into Adolph Jordan, I have a feeling. But it hasn't done yet, so.
Yeah. I just figured they must have done it because they wanted.
But so it's so stark now looking
I
at your
know,
house.
and looking down too for me, like.
Is it
all of
starting
yeah.
now?
Well, just because
But
all I
the
see
view
is
must be
houses, the view is great, so I have to
Oh,
look.
but you don't
over.
have any, oh, yeah, you don't
So
have
I
any
look at a lot
buffer
of
stuff.
houses,
Yeah,
yeah, which
yeah,
is, you know what, we asked for